the die-hard ones, not everybody who like Kevin, like, yeah, we gotta attack them, they want we to stop. Trust and believe. A lot of them doesn't know what they're interfering with, or they don't have a clue what they're interfering with. It comes just like how Kevin cussing Mercedes, and then Mercedes stand up by a banquet. Well, Lee, this is what I'm saying, because you know, a lot of them just feel like if somebody really care to talk about Kevin, it's not that. But if you're attacking a man who been great to Kevin, this man has been nothing but great. And when we say great, because if we being honest, Kevin only had a somewhat image. You know what I will always say? Let me break it down. Right? That was always the topic. Who's suffering and who ain't suffering and who are. Where is the best place you'll ever see Maureen sat in his entire career? Even the house, the so-called bill for the mother, because that all used to love, who are the things and who suffering, that what they did like. Where is the best place he ever sit? In Marlon fucking living room. So what things they had that all they coming now to try to drag Marlon? The best place he ever sit on a live to get your background that will look like, oh, yeah, somebody is in Marlon place. You live, you sleep, you eat. We used to hear when this every evening, you used to be hearing every evening, Marlon has some nice chairs. Besides when he on the church bench, when we cuss he ass for being on the church bench, inside Marlon house with the kind of fancy chairs and have a part in Marlon house and the sexy chairs and them thing. All you know that part, what I'm talking about. You understand? And his spiritual father, when he cussed his spiritual father, that is the reason he cussed Mr. Marlon for, because Marlon had enough. And it was basically like this, Marlon tell him, okay, there's enough for this cussing, and you know what I mean? It getting out of hand now. You're just cussing. You understand what I'm saying? And you're in a churchyard. Well, remember, you feel you're bigger than your own spiritual father that walked the obia to make you somebody. You understand? Larry, but I've been telling everybody it's an illusion. I don't know how, but you know, I don't know how Kevin gives somebody an illusion, eh? I ain't meaning you, Larry. I ain't coming for nobody. I don't understand how Kevin give all the illusion, because Kevin never looked like he had anything. I just don't get that. So all is literally sit down and you could see this man was living by somebody. So obviously that is somebody's house. He cussing everybody and telling them come out people place. Sunshine come out Pato house. Kia come out Sanelli house. This one come out that one house. And he whole life he lived by Marlon. So I don't understand how some people didn't see that plain as day. That is baffled me. I made it real. Like that was obvious. But Kia, he cussed me because he's my friend and apologized after Marlon told him I was his niece, and then boom, I in front of the center in banquet giving knowledge. Facts, Lee. But Lee, you know what it is? A lot of people, when I used to come to tell people them things, they used to act like they don't want to believe. The Mark De La Rosa, he used to cuss, he went and apologized to Mark when he see Mark too. And I didn't know that because me and Lee good and I respect Lee. You understand? And I respect everybody in the Baptist community, to be quite honest, because I'm young and I'm of faith and I don't wish for confusion. But the cuss Lee, because Lee was friends with me. and Lee doing certain spiritual stuff for me, and then Lee was front and center in his banquet, giving knowledge. He wouldn't come on the live after and say that he cussed Akil and then kneeling down in front of Akil when Akil manifest spirit. He wouldn't come and tell the live that. So it's a lot of bullshit he used to be doing. But the mistake he made was to curse his spiritual father. Spiritually, not carnally. Darling, them spirits will fuck you up, trust me. And I always tell them that is why they cannot find who do Kevin what happened. All them Yankees were bumping them out. You cuss your spiritual father, darling. You cuss a man that harbor you. Not just a spiritual father. You cuss a man that build you from the gutters. If it's one thing I learned being a Baptist, which is why I surely used to see, even when I get vexed because Marlon throw words at me, you never see me cuss Marlon. I used to try to throw my shade back, but you never see me get out of pocket and cuss Marlon. You understand? I go throw my shade and I would talk my shade in heights and I would say nobody can do my this and nobody can hit me no blow. You never see me sit down and cuss Marlon like sit down because I don't know all of we in the Baptist faith and them as elders, darling. You don't always agree with them, but you have to know your place. You understand? So Yankees could fucking suck it up. When he did all that talk, all they run around with, but he was so spiritual and they will find killers. I watch all the like content and tell all of that.
Ikea has come forward to basically say that it is as a result of Yank Boss's lack of respect or regard for the person who made him as popular and as powerful as he was. And this is what has led to his demise. So in her opinion, she's basically saying that as a result of his disrespect towards the person popularly called Teach, he basically lost his protection spiritually, and as a result of that, he was left open for bad things to take place, which has led to his demise. Now, obviously, there are going to be varied opinions on this. Some people do not believe in this whole thing of spiritual protection and spiritual battles, while others, this is very much a part of their religion and a part of their belief system. So, you know, depending on which side you take it, either way, what she's alleging is that he should have had far more regard for the person who invested their time and their care to nurture him and his personality and his talent and his popularity. And that whatever it is that happened between them, between Yank Boss and Teach, is what would have resulted in him being unprotected out there in the world. Now, I am unaware of what exactly took place between himself and Teach. There have been videos around where it was implied that Yank Boss had issues with the Baptist community, and he made that clear in his live prior to his death. So if there is an issue there, it is likely that that would have resulted in tensions between himself and his spiritual leader. Now, as we can see, Kia is very, very hell-bent that Yank Boss's own behavior is what led to his end. And that it is important that the Yankers take accountability in terms of recognizing that, you know, many of the things that happened, the conflicts that happened, were contributory to his death. And that if he had remained under the guidance of those who genuinely cared for him and had taken further advice from those people, possibly he would have avoided this end. Now, we all know that nobody can control the future and control, you know, what could happen. If it happened, regardless of all of this, what would we be saying now? Everybody has a theory and everybody has ideas, and people are pointing fingers in terms of where the blame is supposed to come from and who could be the potential suspects. But either way, we all know that whatever conflict Yank Boss had with various personalities are all leading to, you know, something that was tragic in the end. And we don't know which person or which situation was the strongest contributory factor. Okay? Whether it be spiritual or something that happened in the physical world, we are still not sure. I think everybody is going to have an opinion and everybody is going to have their feelings about this. But once again, I still say, let's see what happens with the investigation. Time has progressed and there's still silence coming from the police of Trinidad and Tobago. And that's a shame. It's left room for a lot of tensions and a lot of, you know, further arguments. And suddenly all these enemies have got a lot to say. But let's see what happens.